Yes, so clearly a very difficult day yesterday for the Prime Minister with the departure of 4 of his most senior advisers. Well, today he's really been trying to give the impression that this is now a new start for him and a new chapter for his premiership. Now, one of the ways that he's been doing that is he has been, as you said, meeting staff in Downing Street. He's been trying to give them a pep talk, as he said, trying to reassure them and re-energise them, even using quotes reportedly from the Lion King, change is good. He's also as well been reaching out to MPs. He sent a letter to every Conservative MP, really trying to convince them that he is now going to listen to them more. And that really has two main aspects in it. First of all, he has said that he will re-establish backbench policy committees that will allow them to feed their ideas into Number 10. But it also flags up the appointment of Andrew Griffith as the new head of policy. He's an MP himself, and as the Prime Minister puts it in the letter, he will provide a direct line between MPs and Number 10. Now, some MPs that I have spoken to today have said that that is a good appointment and they believe that that will happen. Others, though, slightly more sceptical, and that is because they consider Andrew Griffith, some of them, closer to Boris Johnson than to any MPs. Of course, as well today, bad news for the Prime Minister. We've seen another resignation. A staff member from the Number 10 policy unit has left. There's also been another MP, Aaron Bell, who has publicly said that he has now put in his letter of no confidence. But today, the Prime Minister really trying to put a positive spin on what is still a very tough time for him. A dismal Downing Street today as the drip of damaging exits continued. With Eleanor Narazanski's departure, the latest blow to the Prime Minister. An amateur boxer, she was until this morning part of Number 10's policy unit. This follows yesterday's deluge of high-profile resignations that swept away the Prime Minister's entire top team, including his policy chief, Munira Mirza, his head of communications, Jack Doyle, his chief of staff, Dan Rosenfield, and his principal private secretary, Martin Reynolds. But it was the loss of Ms Mirza that was said to have hurt him the most. By Boris Johnson's side for 14 years, but no more. She drew the line at comments he made in the House of Commons this week, repeating an internet conspiracy theory about Keir Starmer. And today, the Health Secretary was the latest Cabinet Minister to distance himself from those comments.
Keir Starmer, when he was running the DPP, did a good job, and he should be respected for it. It's a tough job, and he deserves absolute respect for that. But the Prime Minister has also come out and he's clarified those remarks, and that's important.
The Prime Minister's supporters have insisted that last night's exodus was all part of the plan to move on from the Partygate scandal.
Well, on Monday, the Prime Minister brought the findings of the Sue Gray inquiry as it was to the House, and in the evening he met with MPs and he said, what I'm going to do is change what's happening in Downing Street, because MPs have asked for that. So we asked for it to happen quick, and there's changes happening over there.
In order to rally the troops after all the resignations, the Prime Minister has today gathered the remaining Number 10 staff, dozens of them, here in Downing Street and via Zoom, for what he called a half-time pep talk, which reportedly included a quote from the Lion King. He told them, change is good, change is necessary, even when it's tough. Some of his own MPs, though, think it's a change in Prime Minister that is necessary, with Aaron Bell the 12th to publicly declare that he has submitted his letter of no confidence. He tweeted that the breach of trust that the events in Number 10 Downing Street represent and the manner in which they have been handled make Boris Johnson's position untenable. A quick rise for someone who only entered Parliament in 2019. A supporter of Boris Johnson from the beginning, he even lent him his London townhouse to use as his campaign headquarters. Number 10 believes his role will give MPs a much-needed representative at the heart of government. Some MPs, though, are sceptical, with one privately describing him as aloof. Away from Westminster, a brand new Conservative MP, Anna Firth, was celebrating her by-election victory in Southend.
And I do hereby declare that Annalisa Firth is duly elected.
She takes over the seat that was for almost 25 years held by Sir David Amess, whose tragic death last year triggered the contest. He personally enjoyed a lot of support and affection here. But what do voters make of the Prime Minister he served and the party allegations that have engulfed the government?
I'm not defending what they did, I'm not. But I just think now, let it alone. It's just, you're weary of it. And I just think with the Ukraine and the Russian thing, there are far bigger issues than someone having a party.
I think what it tells us is don't sack someone as important as Cummings. Because if you do, you're going to be chased after for the rest of.
People will be shifted and hopefully it'll all settle down from then on in. Obviously the head man will never go, so yeah, it's the expendables that can go.
Back in Downing Street, a removal van outside on a day when there is upheaval going on inside. But still no sign that the Prime Minister is ready to pack up just yet.